Hello, 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 and welcome, because I always do the hello greeting, to episode 10. We've made it to the double digits.
Yeah.
Episode 10 of the TRC Main Show podcast.
Are we a real podcast yet?
We're a real podcast.
I'm a real boy.
We're real boys now, yeah.
I'm a real boy.
All right, well,
this is good.
Let's hop right into it. What's going on, guys? I got Levi, I got Anthony.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
So, we are very few and far between here at the building. We have a ton of people out today.
I'm just coming off of being sick. So.
And our building, apparently there is a virus going around and it is striking down people.
Like 28 days later type of situation.
You're going to come back,
man.
yeah.
People are just dying left and right.
Yeah. So we have almost 20 employees here, and there's probably 5 of us here total today, not counting us.
It's a tight crew down there.
So it was eerie. When I showed up, I was like,
where is everybody?
Okay. And then you
said
when you showed up, you were like,
parking lot. I'm
no
like, is today day off? I didn't know. I was about to turn around.
Nobody told me.
And go home.
Here at the Bragg Company, we like to take Columbus Day off. It's a voluntary holiday for those.
Yeah.
So it's been definitely an interesting day, just running short-staffed, and then not Quest, CenturyLink came out to replace our router. Yeah. So we haven't had internet for a little while, so that's good. It's been a very odd Lord of the Flies style day.
Living off the grid.
Feeding the herd.
In a world of sickness. And
Maki's the only one that's doing really well.
Yeah, he is. He's always doing
he's just
well.
hanging out working.
He's kicking butt down there, so
But
we do have a guest coming.
We do, hopefully, if they show up.
That headwind's not helping them. But
so Kevin Davis and his lovely wife, Michelle, are headed this way. They're on their way down to Reno, and they've got Sugar High on the back of the motorhome with them. And they left their house this morning, and Kevin said he hit a very hard headwind. So his time has continually just about every hour. He keeps putting it back about an hour.
Driving a big motorhome, you don't get to make the rules when the wind decides
especially when
what
you're
you do.
So he's very apologetic. So we'll see. Hopefully they arrive.
Hopefully it just gets here.
We'll definitely be shooting a detox cast.
We'll do something with them.
It's going to be a late night
for us.
But
it does keep putting our time back.
Yeah. We might even do detox in here, maybe.
Yeah. Well, and the hard part is, they want to leave at a reasonable time too,
right? Because they got places to go.
They want to keep driving for a couple more hours before they call it a night.
True.
Because they want to try and get to Reno by noon. So tomorrow,
it could be a quick turnaround.
Yeah. So we may only be doing just a quick sit down detox podcast, something with them in the podcast studio. But it'll be fun either way.
People want to hear the story about the detailers helpers.
Yep. Exactly.
Definitely.
So. That'll be fun. We had the Oktoberfest.
Yeah. So we had that. That went over the weekend.
You went to that, Dane.
Yeah, I went there. So it was cool to see the layout.
Tell us about it.
What does it mean?
Okay,
Oktoberfest.
It's the local Porsche club. Basically, the chapter
Sounds
of the
fancy,
because there's a bunch of Porsche clubs. Obviously, Porsche is very popular, but they managed to fill up the entire horseshoe over at the Meridian Village, which is kind of like their.
It's an outdoor. It's an outdoor mall.
Yeah, it's like an outdoor mall. It's like a California style outdoor mall.
Where Porsche owners go.
Yeah. I mean, they're
probably
shopping there anyway. Anyway, we made some packs.
Yeah, some towel packs.
Made a nice little label for that, so those guys had something cool to take home with them.
Did we give them? Did we give them
wizards?
We gave them orange wizards.
Mm-hmm. Orange wizards.
Yep, wizard and a lens claw.
We thought it made sense for like October. Orange.
Yeah, it's got that kind of cool Halloween.
So they all got those, which was cool.
Yep. Yeah. So they had awards out for all the cars. I mean, they had a lot of cool cars too. What
was your favorite?
That's tough for me because I saw a few. Old buddy of mine, he has a 964 turbo out there, and that thing is thing's appreciated.
Was it that white one or that which color?
No, it's like a dark gray. It's like a dark gray with kind of a greenish tinge to it. So it doesn't necessarily catch your eye the way some other flashier colors do, but that is a cool
We don't have any RWB Porsches here in town, do we?
If we did, I feel like I would have noticed
I feel like that would have been something pretty obvious.
Well, when we go down to SEMA, you'll see many of them.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I was taking as many.
I was so excited.
I finally stopped taking pictures of them to send to Dane.
Yeah.
because I was so mad. I was like, I'm not going to take a picture.
Want to go up to them and smell them and see if they still smell of cigarettes and Coca-Cola.
If you've never seen how those things are made, look up on YouTube some of the videos of him making those things. It's bonkers. He does everything himself, chain smoking the whole way, cutting stuff by hand. It's really cool.
That's how you know it's authentic.
It's authentic.
But they had a lot of other cool Porsches there.
But yeah, you had everything from like classic 356 Speedsters, originals, not even necessarily replicas, but actual real ones. And then you had everything that came in GT4s, 911s, 911 turbos, all that whole mix, but all the generations. There was a lot of the early ones, the late 60s, early 70s, like long noses and stuff. I like Porsches. I don't know about you guys, but
I do too.
Yeah,
I like it as well. And when I was talking to one of the guys in the Porsche Club that helped set this up, they've also expressed interest in wanting to do like an open house here.
Right, yeah, because we're actually going to do like some kind of clinic where we bring people in, maybe
clinic,
show them
how to
some
wash
rinseless washing.
Yep, simple stuff.
People always forget you can wash in the winter. You just need the right products to do it.
Yep. Yeah. So we're going to do something like that in the future. It'll be fun, and they're really excited for it, which is always a good time. Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. I thought it was cool. We made those, and those guys really appreciated it.
Well, and then Anthony and I were downstairs talking today to our buddy Brian Prescott of Gearhead Detailing. He stopped in to buy some towels, and we noticed on the television downstairs that there was an episode of Detox, a mashup of Details with Levi and Wash Wednesday down there. That was
pre-streaming.
Kind of freaked you out for a second.
It was pre-streaming.
What you didn't realize was...
and we were like, I was like, I mean, it looks really good, but I was very confused because it was playing on the TV downstairs.
I didn't know that was live yet.
Yeah. But that's going to be
That's because it's logged in on our account on the TV in the store, so it has all like the privately marked videos and the secret videos you can't see.
Oh, yeah. But it comes out on the 11th.
Comes out,
so you can finally watch that episode that we have been talking about for the last couple weeks.
And today, this is Monday, we're releasing the 500K detail.
Yeah, that's
as soon as the internet comes back.
Anthony got paid $500,000 to detail.
Well, you didn't hear?
It's supposed to be for the radar. You can't
okay, whoops.
Sorry, no.
Tell the detailers out there getting real jealous right now. Don't worry, he didn't.
He only polished the car for $500,000.
Yeah,
can you believe it?
That was it, guys.
He didn't have to coat it or anything.
No, it's polish and quick wax.
Amazing. I can't believe that guy fell for it.
Now that's efficiency.
So that video will be up by the time you guys listen to this podcast. It'll be up, and so you guys will be able to watch that. That was a really, we've talked about it in several podcasts. I don't want to get too into it, but it was a really fun experience where I did a full paint correction on a 65 GT 350. And it turned out awesome, and there's lots of 50-50 shots for you guys that like those.
There's literally pictures of the car with another car identical to it.
That is the best part. People are going to watch it, and it isn't really addressed necessarily, but there is another GT350 virtually identical behind him the entire time he's working on this one. So,
and then on some shots, there's the Cobra on the other side.
Yeah,
it's the red Cobra that the guy has.
And then the Ford GT is like over there.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you guys get a glimpse of the R8.
There's an R8 ahead of those.
Yeah,
so.
but
it's all neatly, tightly packed in there.
I think it's funny that I didn't address the fact that there was an identical GT350.
You're acting all whatever.
Because there's probably people that are going to be like, is my eyes playing tricks on me, or is that another identical?
Wait a minute, that guy owns two.
Because it looks like it's a normal garage arrangement.
It looks like it's in a neighborhood.
It doesn't call attention to itself, which is kind of the point. So yeah.
So that'll be going live here in a little bit, so you guys will be able to check that out. We had a lot of fun, and Dane worked really hard to edit that.
34 minutes long.
It's a good video.
Longest video I've made for our channel yet.
It doesn't feel like it, though. It's one of those things, if you guys start watching, just click on it, watch the first 5 minutes. I guarantee you'll make it in 20 minutes, and you won't realize that you have been watching it for that long.
I've been working very hard recently on getting pacing to a point where you don't necessarily feel like
it's a long, dragged out video.
It kind of started with that Jeep video, which seems to be doing so well, that foam wash video, where I was just kind of like, Levi, you do your thing, you foam that car, and we'll just be along for the ride. And it worked out great. So we're going to kind of adopt that for some of our maybe otherwise would be longer videos. I mean, Wash Wednesday will still be Wash Wednesday. It'll be its own thing.
A feature, but
that video got a little bit of the efficiency treatment too. So it cuts down what would be maybe a little longer process into something that feels, like it keeps moving.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
So,
I'm excited.
And if you haven't noticed yet, behind Dane, There's a very large rag company logo.
Very nice.
Hello.
And we mounted, so
that.
that's cool. That looks pretty
Yeah.
rad. Anthony and I hung that. Anthony texted on his phone
Yeah.
while I put that up, so that
Yeah.
was thank you for your help.
I
We're a
did do
productive
that.
bunch here.
He
Yeah.
did pretty good. This,
fairness,
this one actually
he
fell
hung the
down.
other
though,
one, and
so
you
I
can't
had
see.
to, I had to rehang that one.
Yeah, we've got
Turns
another
out
one
the
on this
Velcro
side.
was sticky, but the sticky part on the back of the Velcro was not.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, the sign took a tumble, and we got it fixed now, so it's good.
Well, luckily it didn't break. So
That
it's
way,
nice.
those of us sitting in these chairs can look up and remember where we are.
That's right.
Yeah, and guests.
Because in case we forget. So, I mean,
Well,
Who's
this way
gonna
people
forget?
know. Plus, it just looks classy in here.
Yeah.
When you got the rag company, you walk in. We don't feel like we're just in one of the offices upstairs.
No.
We actually feel like we're in some
It
place
feels
cool.
very official.
Yeah.
I want to, like...
Once we get that door switched out, it'll
Yeah.
be truly official.
I want to start theming this room, like, for certain holidays.
It's
like,
just Halloween.
Well,
You're gonna
downstairs
know.
is.
I
We
do.
literally have
I
Halloween
like,
stuff going on
legit.
downstairs. We could wrap these with.
I want
Spider
this
webs.
spiderweb, and I want to play like some like eerie music in the background.
Oh man.
And then
Get the light
maybe
bars in here and
we can
yeah.
do
turn it all
like we can do
purple.
like
A
scary
fog machine.
scary detailing stories, right? Scary detailing stories, scary cow stories.
Actually, there
And
probably
Levi-
is room
Levi's
for a whole
got
episode
some.
of
I have a
scary
lot of
detailing.
those.
Levi's
Yeah.
got those, and we've
Rocky
heard
Mountain
a lot.
Fever.
Here's one that I have never told real quick.
Ooh.
I had a customer.
exclusive.
This is when I first started detailing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, I think I was like 18 years old.
That's when a lot of the scary happens.
Yeah, and I was working at a car wash, and we were doing express details. Now, for those of you that don't know what an express detail is, you basically spend 20 minutes, and you can get four items, and you only get it used to cost like when I did it was $20 in 20 minutes or $30 in 20 minutes, and you'd go to these full service car washes, and you'd either get a hand wax. Which I used to get old men that would call all the time and ask how much one of our hand jobs was, or 30-minute hand jobs.
More than you can afford.
Yeah,
pal.
I'm
basically.
sorry, we're not that kind of
Old guys
establishment,
always
sir.
called the car
Not
wash.
anymore.
So when I become an
New
old man, I'm
ownership.
going to do that too. And they go, yeah, tell me about one of them $30 hand jobs you got advertising. And then, so you get a hand wax, or you could get what was known as an interior super clean.
Ooh.
That's where you take compressed air and dressing,
gonna Chris
interior
fix it, huh?
dressing,
And
and you just spray all the plastics, leather, and vinyl down with that and blow it out, and that's it. And if you miss some of the cup holders and the dirt and grime,
Oh, well.
they didn't pay for that part. They paid
Yeah.
for just a dress up of the plastics and leather.
You get
and
what you
vinyl.
pay for.
The other two items was upholstery shampoo or carpet shampoo. Each one, so that was number 3 and number 4. Now you can get all 4 of those. That was what they called a full detail for like $100. So
$100. It must be good.
I had a gentleman drive in, big, huge lifted F250 or F350 long bed, old style body, crew cab. Excuse me.
Big
And
truck.
he came in and he goes, "Want to get your upholstery shampoo?" And I was like, "Okay, cool." And I writing him up his ticket, and he goes, "But I need you to do that back seat real good." And I was like, "Oh,
Real
okay."
good. Uh-oh.
And he's like, "I got some stains back here." So I look at the back seat.
I'm imagining lifted truck and what kind of stains he might find
Right.
back
So the back seat, completely covered in blood.
there. There it is.
Oh, I was thinking it was something else. But
No,
blood's
no,
fine too.
No,
That would be more like a
whole-
wagon or an SUV.
It was like a gray. It was like a gray interior. The whole back seat was covered in blood, in old blood.
He was
Oh,
hunting,
wow.
wasn't he?
No,
Oh, God, now I'm scared.
Yeah, there's a stabbing.
that's what the bed of the truck's for. You throw your deer and stuff.
Well,
in
I
there.
mean, yeah,
So
it should.
something prized that bled that much profusely
Yeah.
needs to go in the back seat.
Yeah.
So I was like, "What is this?" He goes, "It's blood." I was like,
Point blank.
"We're not allowed. I'm not allowed to touch.
For all I know,
Yeah,
this is a crime scene.
We're
I
not
can't.
allowed. We can't. Any bodily functions or fluids. You're not able.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to touch or extract unless you're certified,
Yeah.
and you can do that. And that's state by state.
Yeah.
Turns out his dog had puppies
Oh.
in the backseat of his truck.
I mean, that's a lot more
Gross.
innocent answer.
It
but-
was. Thankfully, it was
Boy,
very.
that's-
But I was like picturing like
Yeah.
It was like, what?
Racing
Like, I
through
brought
your
out my
mind.
boss. I brought out, like, I was like, and I wanted to help. That's just me. I wanted to help that guy because he was kind of frustrated that we couldn't.
Does he
do
have
it.
all his kids? Is his spouse here?
Right.
What's
Well, he
missing?
was a big old cowboy, you know. I didn't
Yeah.
know. Maybe something happened. He was like,
my
yeah,
assumption was hunting because I was like, well, okay, the bed maybe, but I mean, okay, maybe something ended up
literally
in the
back
cab.
seat and the carpet. It was bad. And we had to explain to him that we couldn't do it. And then one of the crackheads that worked at the car wash, when that guy left, said, I'll do it. I'll clean it. I'll do it for $40. And so he asked if he could leave. Yeah. So the guy was like, well, I mean, where he's like, I live right over here. There's a trailer park right around the corner there. So the guy drove his truck over there and stood there, and we could all see. The guy asked, the crackhead asked if he could get off work to go do his job. We didn't know that's what he was doing.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But he was like,
To
hey,
be
I don't
fair,
feel
if
good
Levi's
about it.
calling him a crackhead, he was definitely a crackhead.
He was like, hey man, my stomach's hurting. I need to go home.
My stomach's hurting. I need to fill it with some dollars.
Yeah. So the manager sends him home and goes, all right, yeah, go ahead. You know.
How did he not see
so
what
we're
was
working,
going on?
We're vacuuming cars and cleaning, and we're working, and then all of a sudden one of the guys goes, what the? And points, and we all like line up in this row, and you can see through the parking lot back there. It's just a perfect shot. There's that truck
Oh my God.
parked in front of that guy's house, and the kid's out there with a bucket and a scrub brush, and he's just like cleaning. And
It's an
it was
episode
like,
of Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, he was gonna make some money for the night.
Oh,
So,
man.
yeah, it was. So at least the customer got helped. I felt bad that he had to go to the trailer park to get that cleaned up.
Yeah.
And,
I take it he didn't come back to
know.
you guys.
Oh no, he did. That guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the customer did. He didn't have any problems, but
okay.
and the employee came back too because we
Wow,
had a
he
lot of-
survived.
I've got a lot of those
huh?
stories. I've told friends and family I need to write a book about some of these
Yeah.
stories because not all of them are appropriate to be said on air and or
Yeah, well,
you know things like that. So they
There's
are
good
fun.
ones.
But
good ones. Man.
so
Okay, well, that
Now-
was worth the price of admission there. Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Oh.
to digress,
Yes.
with that, you cannot clean blood stains, bodily fluid stains. I used to have customers call and said my kid threw up all over my car. I wouldn't touch that, period, just because I didn't like dealing with it.
Yeah.
I did have customers that were friends of mine that would call and do that and ask,
Yep.
and I would tell them, that's fine, you clean up everything first, then bring it to me,
And I'll handle the aftermath.
and you don't tell me what is wrong, you just get the car
Right.
scheduled, then I won't be wary or leery of,
Yeah.
cleaning up all the puke.
That's not oatmeal.
And then they kind of felt, maybe joined a little camaraderie. But my goal was to try and make sure they told the truth in that, and that there wasn't any, false
yeah.
expectations on my part.
Well, there's
So-
something to be said about, not cleaning up blood willy-nilly if it comes into your shop and it's just like, this is a lot of blood. In this interior, you're going, maybe I should talk to somebody
Well,
with...
and the thing is, with that certification, you can
authority.
actually make a ton of money
Oh, yeah.
doing those kind of claims and doing those type of
You can make lots of
insurance.
money on the black market if you have something people
but there
want.
are there are detailers. There are detailers that do it, and they can charge for it because the insurance companies will pay for it,
Yep.
and it's a very lucrative. It's not for the faint of heart,
No.
but what I'm trying to say is going back into that. We've noticed on YouTube the level of whistleblowers or truth sayers about
There's definitely a
detailing
lot
videos.
of untold truth of this, and look out for that, and
Well, and my thing is basically with that, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've seen the worst of the worst. I've used hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of products.
Yeah.
I've touched hundreds of millions of dollars worth of cars.
Yeah.
I've seen it all, done it all, used it, and I'm still learning about all the new stuff that's coming through.
Oh yeah. There's always something new.
But most of the things I've noticed that they speak about is technically common sense, technically things that I learned when I was 19, 20.
But how you present it makes a big difference.
Right. It's more, for me, it was always like in passing, hey, this is what's happening, or here's what's going on with here. But here's why this new product fixes or remedies those kinds of things, or here's why you want to use it.
Right.
Not, you don't have to use it, it's not going to be the end of the world if you don't use it, but you can. And coming into a different level where we're salesmen, basically. We sell towels. We sell products.
We sell things.
You didn't know that?
Wow.
Sorry, man. You are
hung out here.
Yeah.
You are the man now. You're the problem. So, yeah.
So now that we are salesmen, I had one of my friends who I text regularly even said, why don't you guys do a video about, why don't you guys do a video like those guys and be that way and expose the truth of these problems or things like that.
Sometimes we do. I mean, it gets mixed into stuff.
We debunk things,
but,
right?
Yeah, we debunk things or we, let people know. But the point is, like, we're not going to badmouth any of our products that we carry. No,
that's dumb. We'll tell you in situations where they won't work. If they don't work some way, it's not like it's, you got to hide that. Yeah. No, it's like, if something doesn't work, what point is there in, like, trying to send you off to go bang your head against a wall? I mean, give you something that will work.
Yeah.
And then you come back and go, gee, thanks. We want people to appreciate, what education we do provide. So why would we give you bad advice?
Well, and the other thing is, we sell towels. We are, as your dad always says, we're Switzerland.
Yeah.
We don't take sides. We don't, people may go like, it's the rag company and Optimum against the world. Well, it's not. Optimum is a really great friendship with those guys.
Yep.
We have a lot of fun with them. And truth be told, our products work really well together. So that's why we do business with them.
Well, and our videos happen to help out Optimum a lot, it seems.
Yeah,
like
we have
people
a very
found out about it.
Yeah, we have a very symbiotic relationship between the two companies. And we really like that because that's what we fostered to achieve.
Yeah.
Now, there are other companies that we do business with. And we have fun with them too.
Yeah.
But
why do you want to be like, somebody who's just kind of that bump on a log, irritating or whatever to other people, if you can have a good symbiotic relationship and you can actually, not just like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, but like actually provide something of value.
Right.
That makes a difference. And at the end of the day, are you helping people or are you hurting people? You better be helping people.
Well, and it's like we've always said, like education first.
Yeah.
Sales will follow. We don't care if you buy from us. Sorry to make this sound like a sales speech, but we literally
it kind of is.
We don't have a problem if you don't ever buy towels from us, but you watch our channels,
right?
You listen to our podcast, you engage with us, you say hi to us, you ask us questions, and we become the guys that either you feel comfortable listening to or taking our advice.
A trusted resource.
Awesome, man.
Because we're not going to screw you. So
we're just literally three dudes here in this office making videos, selling towels, and we all have a passion for cars.
Yeah.
We enjoy cleaning cars, and we like the products that we sell. So we're just selling you the stuff that we use every day, and we're going to try and help you along when we have something that works really well.
Yep.
Detailer's helper belts. They work really great.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
We don't sell a lot of them.
No.
But we love working with Kevin and Michelle. We love the way that those guys promote their business. We like the way they are themselves as people.
Good people.
And so that's why we do business with them.
Yep.
And
Lake Country. We do business with David Patterson of Lake
David's
Country.
awesome. Lake Country's awesome.
We have so much fun, and they're great.
The Lambs, Grit Guard.
The Lambs with
Those
Grit Guard.
guys are so sweet.
They're just they run their business just like we do.
People.
Yeah, they are the nicest. They literally are the nicest people.
Yeah.
But they run their business like we do. It's a family-run business, and that's how they do it. Chris West of Solution Finish.
Yeah.
You guys probably don't know this, but
effective product.
We do sell Solution Finish here in our store.
We do.
We do have some kits that we are trying to make and get finished so that we can start selling them on Amazon.
We just haven't gotten them up there
We just
yet.
haven't gotten around to it. We have not posted it on our website, but in store we sell Solution Finish, and we are going to be selling Solution Finish on Amazon.
That stuff's awesome.
But Chris West has been an amazing customer of ours, and vice versa, and we hope to create the same relationship that we have with Optimum and Great Guard with them.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of people go, oh, well, it's because you've got a
You got to be
product specific.
You're gonna suggest me this product because you have a tie to it, not the best product.
Yeah.
Well, what happens when the product you're suggesting is a tie-in, but it also happens to be a really great product for what you're asking?
Right. Well,
is that wrong? Is that bad? Because there's lots of products out there that'll perform, comparable between each other, and there's nothing wrong with offering an alternative
sometimes
suggestion.
The product doesn't always work on that surface that you're utilizing on.
It doesn't mean your suggestion is malicious or underhanded or some kind of like I'm tricking them.
Yeah, they're not like, hey, we used TLC's last cut on that car. It's not because the Optimum product line, it didn't work. It didn't work, period. It's just no good. I can't use it anymore. No, it didn't work on that paint.
Yeah.
Right.
And that surface that you were working on.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's all.
And he used hyper polish second. So for his two-step, he still used hyper polish. He just for that initial compound, he needed something that he really had to dive into that paint.
Right. Yeah. But it had nothing to do with
No.
the rest
and that was
of the
just a
product's not
time
working.
concern even.
Yeah.
You could use the other if you're, going to be patient and make sure you do that stuff. But sometimes you want to make sure you get a really strong cut. I don't want to speak for you here.
Yeah.
But
No, yeah.
it seems like that's...
But I mean, the other thing too is that, I mean, there's people out there, I mean, on YouTube and stuff like that they'll make videos all around bashing a product because they don't believe maybe particular claims that the company's making and things like that. And so, you know what, like, kind of where I stand on that is I think that there's a lot of products out there that may not be as great, right? We've all seen those Facebook, waterless wash. I'm not going to get into it. You know what I'm talking about? The waterless wash where you spray it in your car.
from outer space.
Yeah, and you wipe it and it's now polished and clean. I'm not going to get into those.
Somehow it's a wash and a polish and a compact.
Paint correction in a bottle.
No.
So just wash it. It's good.
We all know what we're talking about. But I'm saying that, and
then you could, put some sort of top coat on it, and it would be impenetrable.
Something, yeah.
Do you have enough coats?
Yeah. But so I agree. There's products out there and stuff like that. But you know what? Hey, let them do their thing. If people want to buy it, people want to buy it. We're never gonna sit here and say don't buy a product, because that's not who we are. We're Switzerland. We're happy just to see you into detailing. Having interest in detailing, that's awesome.
If nothing else, we'd love to just foster an interest in detailing, whether you use our products or not. Besides the point, yes, okay, we do hope that if somebody sees our videos, they associate us with that good experience and then feel like they want to, offer their support in turn for us offering an education. But at the same time, there's not necessarily a full-on expectation, because that would be unreasonable.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I get jazzed when people come into the store here and they buy their first couple bits of detailing products, and I can kind of like see that sparkle in their eye, like they're
half
the time I saw these videos online, and next thing I knew, I realized you guys are in town. I had no idea, and
they get super interested, great. And I'm more jazzed for them to getting into detailing than they are. Like I get so happy that they're going to be using products, because I know they're going to be taking some of our products, some of Optimum products, whoever they pick up at that time, and they take it home, and they're going to be amazed at the results that they get, or they're going to be really happy with the products.
I love the way their car looks after.
I was going to say that's one or two more cars on the road being taken care of better.
Yeah.
Yep. I haven't had. I don't know about you guys. I haven't had one person come back in the store and say, "Hey, I didn't like the way my car looked after I was done."
I'm just gonna pay somebody to keep it clean from now on. Putting that sticker back on for the car wash.
We refer detailers too. Like people come in asking, like, where can I get my car taken care of?
Because they buy products and then they go, okay, I want to get it professionally detailed first,
and then I'll
start maintaining it. And that's perfect. When I had a detail shop, that's all I wanted my customers to do.
Yeah.
And there's so many guys that are like, no, you don't want your customers, you don't want to sell coatings because you want your customers coming back in every 3 months.
Yeah.
You don't, once you do that, you're going to lose that sale. You're not.
No.
If
you're going to gain sales from their friends and families.
If you're a good salesman and a good customer or a good person to them, and you've fostered a great relationship with them, whether they've spent $1,000 and gotten their car coated from you, they're still going to come back.
Yeah.
Because they still need to get the interior cleaned. They still need to do a maintenance wash on it. There's still a few items that they need to do But again, like you say, Anthony, like they're going to refer their friends and family because you took care of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And
that's all it is. It's a relationship.
To the point you brought up, coatings was, there's plenty of truth tellers and such out there that go, coatings don't work. There's no point in coatings. Why would you? Don't trust coatings.
Yeah.
Because they're expensive and you could do the same thing with wax. Well, no, you can't. Or coatings don't work because this one says it's self-healing, but it didn't heal. Everything is conditional.
And you have to know the coating itself, and it's up to your guy that's installing the coating to explain that to you.
Right, proper like painting, proper prep work,
and proper education. You could pick up any coating on the market and apply it wrong, and do the installation incorrectly, and you're going to have just as many problems if you took a polymer sealant and did the exact same thing, did improper protection or prep work improper. You'd be like, it didn't take any of the scratches out, didn't do any of this, it didn't stay. Look at all these streaks it's causing. What's wrong?
It's easier to blame outward than to look and go, I didn't do my proper prep work.
If you're taught how to do it, or you've got a professional that knows how to do it, it doesn't matter whether they're putting a coat of wax on at the end, a polymer sealant, or a coating. It should come out the same results of a freshly protected finish.
Yeah.
It should be done right.
There's just so many variables, and there's so many. You can get lost in this rabbit hole. I tell people you could literally
How deep do you want to go?
You'll drive yourself crazy. You're gonna start to lose it, and before you know it, everything you've ever believed is wrong. And then now you're back into some weird you're going like the loony bin.
A healthy skepticism is good. I always exercise a healthy skepticism with anything in life.
It's good. It's good to ask questions.
I see a headline, I go, "Is that really what happened?" And you look into the news or whatever.
To call back to when Dylan was here and we did our paint correction video, we did get a lot of, trash talk on there about, it's not a full paint correction. We never did a full paint correction on that vehicle. We showed you 3 stages on that vehicle.
It was a step-down correction.
And it was step-down to show you what levels you could get. And he's right. It's up to your customer as to what they can live with.
And I think a lot of people had a hard time understanding that not every customer wants perfection. They want something that's going to pass in a daily setting. But that somehow, by offering that to your customer, you're a lesser than detailer.
We would
is
literally
totally not right.
I had so many customers that would come in and just get an interior detail.
Yeah.
And I would wash the outside of the car, and we would wipe it down with a quick detail spray, and we would dress the tires.
But the interior's not as glamorous.
But
as
that was it. That was
correction.
all we did. Yeah. And they'd walk as they're walking up. Now, mind you, we detailed the whole interior and only washed and wiped down the outside real quick.
Right.
They would go, "Wow, look how awesome that car! Look how shiny it is, man!" And they were stoked.
Yeah.
And they'd open the door and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's like a brand new car." Now the paint probably had hundreds of thousands of scratches in it.
Yeah.
The headlights were faded. The wheels were still technically dirty because we didn't do a very thorough wheel. We didn't clean the barrels. We didn't, we just cleaned the wheels up and got some of the brake dust off the faces.
But that's not what they
but that wasn't what they were paying.
They paid for.
That was just, we washed the outside so we could clean the door jambs and clean the inside.
Yeah.
But they were happy. They'd see it and they were like, "Oh my gosh, it looks amazing." And they'd tell all their friends about how great their car looked. They didn't care about the paint.
Yeah.
So it's up to your customers as to what their level of what they care about on their car. Maybe they only want it shiny. They don't see the scratches. They can't understand that. Or they see the scratches and they go, "Hey, I need these taken out." Or maybe they only see the big scratches and they only want the big scratches taken out.
You can do your due diligence.
You learn what your customers want.
Inform them of the possibilities and then let them make the decision.
And you will have customers that want it perfect.
Right.
I had a customer who wanted it perfect.
And they better be willing to pay to make it perfect because there's definitely a difference in what you get.
But that was him. It was to the point he wouldn't drive the car because he was scared it would get a rock chip driving it to the shop.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't want to do it. And he would literally, not drive the car, which totally fine with me. That was his thing. But there are people who are like, I'm the complete opposite. Yeah. I like I've got a 46 Chevy pickup that someday I would like to fully restore, but it's got a perfect patina on it. Yeah. And one that I want to just put clear coat over the top of.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's beautiful. It's got
not
black,
that fake made up patina.
It's got orange. Really? It's got lime green in it. I mean, it just looks, it's a really cool
ready for rod duty.
It's ready. Yeah, it's ready to just get cleared over the top of it, and it'll look amazing. But I love that look.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's me.
Yeah.
I look at that and go, that's going to be like, I can't wait.
Yeah, some
to when I can
detailers see
clear
that
it.
and they're like, oh my God.
Well, and then, or there's not detailers, just people.
Yeah.
They look at it and go, God, that's
How could you
ugly.
let it get that
Why don't
way?
you finish
Oh.
this? Why don't you finish? Well, I look at it and go, God, that's going to look
It's done. It
gonna
doesn't
look-
need to be.
It's going to look
finished.
so
It's
awesome.
done.
Yeah.
You know, my dad's got a 67 long bed C20 pickup, and I look at that too and think the same thing. I want to polish that out. I want to get that single stage all done back out. It's starting to patina a little bit. It's a baby blue. But same thing. I'm like, if I ever get that truck from him, I'm clearing it. I'm finishing it up and clearing it and leaving that paint because that's the style I like. That's what I like looking at.
The age-old
You know?
tale: beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
and like-
So true.
But like, well, and then
so
there's-
what's beautiful to you? It's different.
Yeah, it's different for each one of
everybody.
us. You know,
Yeah.
Dane, you painted your car and you got overspray all over it.
Yep.
But you're okay. Like you,
It was
you
a
drive your
$1,200 car.
Right.
I didn't freak myself out. I was like, all right, I can work with this. I wouldn't do that to my nice car, my newer car.
Yeah.
But, you know, for something that's a project car, just have fun with it.
Yeah.
And
you
I'm not
enjoy
going
it,
to
it's
stress over the, you know, it's got
fine. Sorry,
swirls,
Anthony.
whatever.
I know you don't
Whereas
want you to feel
Anthony
like we're
here,
putting-
Anthony-
jumping on
Are
you.
you guys putting me on blast right now?
But-
Am I being put
okay,
on blast?
but
Anthony, on the
But-
other hand, did what I did. He saw I had a fun little beater car, and he's like, I want a fun beater car. So he got himself a Civic where I had a Miata, and he got himself a really good deal on one. And he took it the other direction, where he
You've
took
actually made
a
it really nice.
beater car and turned it
Yeah.
into this magnificently cleaned up version of what it once
I have
was.
problems.
Yeah.
I have problems.
But there's nothing wrong with that because each
No.
one of us is different,
Yeah.
just like each one of your customers is going to be different. And it's up to you to figure out where they are on that scale.
Yeah.
Are they an Anthony?
It's-
Are they a Dane? Are they me?
And
Yeah.
just because I accepted overspray on my cheap little car doesn't mean I'm gonna
No.
think that way for
No, but
somebody
you're-
else.
but
Like
you're-
somebody asks
yeah.
for the right advice on how to take care of their paint, I can give them the right advice on
Right.
how to take care of their
Yeah,
paint.
and
I am aware.
And your other car,
Yeah.
you keep clean because
It's-
you drive for Uber
yeah,
as well.
I do
for
Uber
fun.
and Lyft on the side occasionally for fun, and people like seeing a nice
But he has
clean
to
car.
keep his car clean to pick
So-
up customers, so his car
Yeah.
stays clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't have a bunch of hamburger wrappers and bags of trash
No,
in the
the
back seat 'cause
interior
you're like,
is
yeah, I don't care about
spotless.
this. Like,
That
so
matters.
it's,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah, certain people just
Everybody's
have
different.
just certain standards. I mean, for example, what I saw. Okay, so it was actually just the other day. I was on some big dog walk for charity, and I see this
C-spot walk.
I see this rat rod, right? Like straight up, like slammed, right? Completely rusted over. And I saw that and I was like, dude, that's kind of sick looking, like because it's
Rat
all
rods are rad.
because it's all
Yeah.
rusty and because it's kind of grungy, but this thing was like slammed on the ground. It sounded mean, and my girlfriend's just like, "What a pile of junk!" Right? And don't get me wrong, I'm OCD when it comes to paint. I like paint, I like gloss, but for some reason, when I saw this, I basically, like Levi was saying, with beauty being in the eye of the beholder, I envision myself having that car. That's kind of how I have to do things. I have to envision myself having it. And when you envision, like, let's just say you guys see a car and you're like, that car is ugly, right? Pretend it's your car. Like, pretend that you just got that car and then look at it as you would an owner, and you'll see the body lines differently. You'll see like the way the headlights, and you'll be like, that looks mean. And before you know it, you're talking about a 2006 Elantra. And
Suddenly you're Levi.
Like it will, for example, like Levi, right? So
Well, funny story.
Levi, whoa, hold
This
on
is the
there.
best. This
Whoa.
is,
I was going to give you a compliment.
You were. No, that's fine. And so here's the funny thing. We were visiting a friend of ours when we were all at his dealership.
Yeah.
And we were talking and discussing, and we were talking about cleaning cars and the services that he wants to provide for his customers. And these are people who drive Lamborghinis, Ferraris, McLarens, all this kind of stuff. And he even pointed out to the window, my 2006 Elantra sitting out there. And he goes, whether it's this car and motions over his shoulder and touches it, a McLaren 650 sitting there. He goes, or like that Elantra, I want the customer to get I want the customer to get the same level of service.
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell him, that Elantra, we could take one of those scan grip lights out there.
Oh my God.
You will not find.
You can check it right now.
You will not find a swirl in that paint.
Yeah.
No, I just had polished it and coated it. But still, I wanted to say that that thing was, it may have been dirty because it had been raining. It wasn't that clean, but that paint was flawless on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though it was a 2006 Elantra with 130,000.
The best loved 06 Elantra on the road.
Right.
Well, I mean, for you guys listening, okay, so think back to your first car. You know, for the people that are into cars and people that are car enthusiasts, you can't tell me that you didn't look at your car, you know, whether it was a hunk of junk or whether it was something nice, and you looked at it and you're like, oh, this is a good looking car.
It was
the angles,
your car.
The angles, the body, like the way the headlights meet, right? Like I used to tell people, I'm like, oh, my car was so sweet. It was slammed. It had this really cool duckbill spoiler. It looked so aggressive.
And then they walk out
rolling.
looking to see a Pontiac Aztek.
No, and then they're like, well, what was it? I'm like, it was a 96 Civic hatchback, and it was sporty looking. And then looking back now that I have like my Evo, I look back and I'm like, wow, that thing, because I'll see other Civic hatchbacks rolling. I'm like, what a pile
my
of
first
junk.
car's right here.
Yeah.
I tattooed it on me just so I'd always remember it.
You did?
Yeah.
On your SEMA poster, I made sure that was featured
Good.
heavily.
Yeah. That's the cruiser pig, as I called it. It was a 76 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme.
Yeah.
And I used to ride around with my buddies smoking cigars, listening to 70s funk. That's where you go
that
cruise
is the
downtown.
right car to do that.
Yeah,
with.
and I had throw pillows in the back because the back seat was so big. It was
really?
like a couch.
I was about to ask if you had like a velvet robe back there as well. Or
it was
something.
nice. And then
Just velour.
and then I also and that thing was immaculate, and it smelled like pina colada.
Oh, wow.
My dad would say, because I keep the windows cracked on it, so it always breathe. And he would walk by when he'd like take out the trash, and he was like, "Man, I don't know how much pina colada you spray in that thing, but I can smell it when I walk by." And I was like,
Yes,
good.
that's
you
what
should."
that
Did you have
is.
one of those like under seat things?
I had one of those, and then I had like trees, and I had like every type.
You know
of
what I'm talking about?
spray
The under the can. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
literally
the
like
big-
a can, and you peel it up, and it's kind of like, I don't know what it looks like, and they're like a
It's
felt,
like a sardine,
like
or
a sardine
like a,
can.
Oh, yeah.
Vienna sausages can.
That's exactly
filled
what
with
it
air
was.
Yeah.
fresheners.
Filled
But yeah,
in
and
a
then,
container.
I also at the same time had a 73 Chevy pickup, a K20, and it had been rolled down a hill,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
and the floorboards were rusted out of it, and
Yep.
all the fenders were completely rusted out. The whole truck was just a pile of rust, and it was army green. And I ran that thing through the car wash so many times, using all the hydrofluoric acid.
You
I
were
waxed
brave
all the
taking that
chrome.
into a car wash
I
in
did
the first place.
Well, I got free car washes. The car wash worked out. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah,
Wow.
he's like,
So-
duh.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Makes
and I'd put
sense.
every like paint brightener and all the different sudsy
All the buttons.
actions of stuff every time
this
I'd run it
needs
through.
this.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
my dad laughed because like when it'd come out, I'd dress the tires, I'd have everything just spotless. This truck was the ugliest truck.
I know the green you're talking about
Yeah.
because I had a friend with a diesel one of those.
Yeah.
And they were POSs
Yeah,
so
it was
slow.
it was literally olive green, but it had a
Yeah.
clear coat that
Yep.
had started to fade. So it wasn't like
It almost looks
it wasn't
worse
like
that
flat
way.
army green. It was like a weird metallic that was starting to fade.
Man.
Yeah.
But and it had like random pieces of chrome strips
Yeah.
that were still
Oh.
attached because everything else had been removed or taken off.
Yeah.
And it had a roof rack, or it had a lumber rack that would lean, so it would like just cantilever over.
Yeah.
The truck was beat up.
Yeah.
So
But
sad.
it was the cleanest truck in the history of beater trucks.
Right.
My dad laughed every time he saw it because he paid like $900 for it from a guy, and he originally bought it just for the frame and the engine and running gear. He was going to take it off and put it on another truck.
Sure,
But he
yeah.
liked driving. He was like, I don't know what it is, but that truck ran so good, drove so nice that he was like, I don't really want to take this thing apart. It's
Yeah.
too nice.
What year was that one?
It was a 73, so it was the
Oh, okay.
first year of the square bodies.
Square bodies, yeah.
And but it was beat to the snot out of it, but it was spotless. It was immaculate. You could eat
That's
off
hilarious.
that hood. You couldn't see yourself because there was nothing to shine,
no.
but
Yeah.
it had that whole truck glowed. My dad always laughed when he'd come home Friday night from work and I'd be in the driveway and he'd see it and he was like,
Why?
What?
Why?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
But I kept that thing. And windows were always clean,
Oh,
seats, the
man.
floor. I had new rubber mat. I mean, I kept that thing. But I was 17 years old,
Yeah.
and that was what I drove.
Yeah.
The truck was
It
going to be
is.
spotless. You know, Dane, what'd you have?
Oh, my first car? Well, the first car I bought was a Subaru SVX.
And in your eyes, it was beautiful. Because I know you still have pictures on your Facebook of like angles of like down low.
I have a particular
shots.
taste in cars, and that's usually weird. If you like Jalopnik, then you probably have similar taste to me.
Yeah.
Brown diesel manual wagons, that kind of thing. Yeah, that appeals to me. But yeah, I had a Laguna Blue 94 Subaru SVX, LSI, top trim, leather interior, all-wheel drive, flat
leather
six.
And suede. Didn't it have
It had so much Alcantara in that thing.
Yeah.
It was absurd.
Those.
There
Like
was
the
suede
dashboard
on the
was done.
doors, flowed up to the dashboard, was on the ceiling. It was everywhere. It was like having an exotic car, only not being fast.
Yeah.
It's like having an exotic car made by Subaru. And
But that's the funny thing
before
is,
Subaru was
by
fast.
Subaru standards, this car was like out of this world, nice inside. It was so well put together. It was like Lexus levels of well put together. Like I am an SVX evangelist.
So did that window? So the weird window on the front.
Yeah, the half windows.
Did the half window
People
fold
always
down
ask.
too?
Just the lower half did.
The lower half of the window rolled down, but the front and the rear windows both had a half, so they both rolled down.
So basically you
the
have,
wind guard. It was like a rain deflector.
so the main
basically.
window didn't roll down.
No.
Right. So basically,
So how'd you get through a drive-through?
It was easy, actually. Just think of it like having a slightly bigger than usual rain guard. Like people put those rain guards on the windows.
But
it's
imagine
kind of like
it being
having
like
that.
6 inches long.
But it was glass. But it worked so well. Whatever. I
like
loved
a bank teller, like like the little window that rolls down. Please enter your.
To be fair, like we've stood next to a DeLorean recently. It's not that bad. Now they're both designed by Ital Design Guigiaro. I can't pronounce his name. Whatever, the Italian designer, really awesome guy. Did the DeLorean DMC-12 and the SVX and a few other cars you may have known.
Weird because they all look so. It's weird.
He
that
did
he
some more
designed
normal
that.
ones too, but the SVX, I love that car.
Yeah.
Flat six. Pretty cool. But anyway,
If only it wasn't auto.
spark plugs suck though. Don't.
Yeah.
Spark plugs on a flat engine, not fun.
Okay, I don't know how we went from detailing.
We really got off topic.
detailing BS
well,
to
the truth
that.
telling was basically, as long as you can educate
Yes.
your customers or you learn from all of these sources,
Yep.
you can form your own opinion.
Yep.
And like us, we're not trying to shill you into, if you want to buy a grit guard because you want a grit guard.
If you don't want to buy a grit guard, don't buy a grit guard.
Yeah, it's
Fine.
Yeah, we're.
I don't see why you wouldn't, but I'm being if you don't want one. But
yeah,
nice.
if washing a car with 2 buckets or 3 buckets makes you sleep at night, go for it. Wash with 3 buckets.
There's people who joke by using 8 buckets. I mean,
they're like, I use 1 bucket.
Yeah.
I don't use a grit guard.
give
at
some
home.
people nightmares.
Yeah.
I used 1 bucket last night or 2 nights ago when I washed my car. I couldn't believe it. I thought I had
You
like
almost called me
I
because
had
you were
to
crying.
reevaluate myself
Yeah.
because I'm a 2 bucket, 3 bucket guy and I only used 1 and I'm like, who am I anymore?
You were like, who am I turning
But then I
into?
realized I was using O&R and I put 2 grit guards stacked on top of each other and I'm like, fight me.
But
Anybody
remember, no matter
take
what
me
you
on.
do in a video, someone is going to comment and say, "Why'd you do that? That's stupid. I do it like this," and it's always going to happen.
Well, and then there are
Always.
people that say, well, don't spend the money on a grit guard. Okay.
And that person's
That's
not
fine.
necessarily wrong, but you're not wrong.
You've been
either.
washing cars for 20 years without a grit guard,
right?
right? Like,
And-
there
yeah,
are people that have been
yeah.
doing it without it for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, as we learn more and more and more about every individual thing, it's to
I think it helps
hopefully better,
efficiency.
yeah.
I think it helps
And-
basically just prevent mistakes. Like
Well, and I
there
always
are ways
say-
to make stuff work without those extra products, but it does require a little more of an eye for stuff, a little more of a, careful technique. But
Nobody
you can get
was,
away with cutting corners if
Well,
you're
like we
using
say,
better products.
There's never a wrong way to detail a car as long as it ends up being clean at the
if
end.
it's shiny at the end, then
Yeah,
okay.
and if your customer's happy, and
Maybe they want shiny scratches. Maybe
that's
they don't
cool.
want.
Yeah, they're fine. But
Yeah.
But everybody's different.
yeah, but it's like I only use 1 bucket. I don't use a grit guard. But I have kind of control over my body and how I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I don't need that.
You're not going to rub the same panel super
But if
hard
I
with
call-
an
if I had
old
my-
pillow and.
But if I was trying to teach somebody how to do rinseless, I'd make them use a grit guard mostly as a stop for
Right.
their hand so that they're not touching the bottom of the bucket every time.
Yeah.
You know, because that's really all you need a grit guard for
Yeah.
O&R for anyway, is to prevent you from touching all the dirt at the bottom of the bucket.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
because all that stuff does literally land at the bottom of the bucket.
when you become a black diamond skier, you're not using French fry and pizza anymore. But hey,
Yeah,
you had to start
exactly.
with that.
Yeah.
So
And yeah, so
and it
that's,
got you into the right mindset, and then you could take it from
Yeah.
there however you wanted.
And we basically just tried to explain to you to make, you know, learn your customers, know what they like, and everybody's different, as evidenced by the three of us.
Right.
So
Very different
That's it.
approaches.
Just
but-
be
I think we did all
thankful
right.
that, okay, realistically, with the technology we have and what's available to everybody in their homes, your car is going to be looking better. You have the capabilities of making it look better than it has ever been able to look, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, 20 years ago.
In
Do you
the
think
past.
do you think anybody was bored enough back in the 80s that they were going to be sitting there determining how they can reduce, you know, every single little scratch?
no, but those guys
there's
are
a
the ones
few,
that are
but
creating
yes,
all the
yes,
products
those-
to do
those-
that.
That's
Those
people,
were
yeah.
the diaper users. And so here we are today with all this cool stuff. So be thankful that we live in a time to where you realistically can have a swirl-free, scratch-free car like 365 days out of the year, and then you have stuff that's easily available to you to correct that if you need to. And like back in the day, I mean, you didn't have this information that was available to you. What we do daily on YouTube and what we do on this
Yeah.
podcast teaches you how you can do these things and have that for the people out there that are looking for
And
it.
if you have questions, ask us questions. That's okay. Absolutely. We
you can hit
welcome
us up
that.
on Facebook, on Instagram. You can email us at The Rag Company. I'm Levi at The Rag Company.
Yep.
So,
Well, yeah, guys.
All right, guys. Well,
so what'd you watch? You went and saw Blade Runner.
yeah, I saw Blade Runner, by the way. That was awesome. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
How deep of a rabbit hole is that movie, though? Like, how deep are you getting into that?
I like it because it's a slow burn, kind of a
Slow
noir
burn,
kind of
okay.
thing. So I like that. I mean, it's probably a little more accessible to general audiences than the original one was.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean the newer one is like a big dumb action flick. Like it is
Yeah.
so well executed, and the soundtrack's amazing, and it is just a pretty movie. Like whatever you have to say about Prometheus, you know, that movie, that was a pretty movie. It wasn't necessarily
it.
a good movie because some of the characters' motivations were a little whatever, but it was a very pretty movie.
Didn't even know that was an alien movie. Swear on my life.
The cinematography
I went
really
into that
sold me
movie,
on that
had
one.
no idea that was an alien movie, and then like 3/4 the way through, I look over at like my friends. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, guys, the twist!" And they're looking at me like, "It's an alien
We
movie."
knew that
And I'm
going
like,
in.
How did you guys know this?
The artwork of
What a-
H.R. Geiger, right in the very beginning
Yeah,
of the trailer. You're
yeah,
like, oh.
well, it
Yeah.
could have been a clue. But no, yeah, seriously, I think everybody needs to go see that movie if they're willing to just sit down and zone out for a while. It's
Yeah,
a
there you
really
go.
kind of get lost in it movie.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Which has
Dane.
nothing to do with detailing. I just really wanted to say that.
Nice. Yeah. I'll have
But
to go do that.
yeah.
Nice.
So all right, guys.
Yeah.
I guess we pretty
That's
much
about
tied this one off. But once again, thank you for listening, and be sure to subscribe and leave a review if you're on iTunes.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Thumbs up too.
Tell
Till
your
next
friends.
time.
Yep.
We're out.